I know a lot of guys that want to look good with their shirt off, plain and simple. And somebody might tell you, hey, those goals, that's all vanity. Well, it might be, but I'm going to share with you guys in today's episode how to put a little twist on it. So I'm not going to lie. All right, I have a goal to look amazing with my shirt off all the time. I mean, who doesn't, right? Especially guys. So I had a coaching call with my buddy Nick, and he was telling me, he's like, hey, I think my goals might be a little bit more, vanity. I really want to look good with my shirt off, right? I want to be that type. I want to look like a superhero, right? And I told him, I said, brother, there is nothing wrong with that at all, because at the end of the day, you got to put a little spin on it. So I told him, I said, hey, here's me, for example. Yes, I want to inspire millions of people. I want to change millions of people's lives. I want to put an end to, all the blood pressure, cholesterol medications, reversing type 2 diabetes. I want to be known as that guy, right? I want to stop this obesity rate going on in the US. Like, I want that, right? I want to serve the world and help out and do my part here to leave a legacy. But I said, at the same time, I'm that guy, right? Where, summertime rolls around. You best believe I got the cutoff. You best believe I got the tank top. And I'm going to pick up my son at daycare, right? If we're going for a walk somewhere, it's a hot summer day, I got my shirt off like I'm flaunting it. And it might sound like, man, like, dude, that's your ego right there. Or, dude, like, that's vanity. It's not by any means. Because I say it like this, and this is what really helped Nick have a realization about it, where hopefully it can maybe help you out as well. I want to look good with my shirt off because, one, it shows people discipline. Like, think about it. If someone's a fat, lazy slob and they're walking around, right? Like, and you just can tell, like, they don't care about themselves. They don't have that form of discipline. Not trying to be rude by any means, but it's not that hard to get in shape, right? Plain and simple. It's really not. And so I want to be known as a walking billboard for discipline, a walking billboard for the fruits of my labor being shown, and a walking billboard for inspiration. I want somebody to look at me, right? Let's say I go pick up my son Oakley at daycare, and I got tank top on, whatever, muscles are popping out, and some other dad happens to see me, right? And let's say two dads see me. Let's just use this for example. One dad might look at me and say, oh, dude, you look great. Like, what are you doing? Like, I want to look like you, right? And he might feel really, really inspired, in that moment, talk to me and everything like that. And I'm telling him, hey, bro, just go to the gym, eat your protein, get your steps in, right? Follow through with our 70 essential fat loss habits at Heartletics. You'll be good to go, right? And so instantly, right, that dad is like, awesome. I'm going to go to Heartletics. I'm going to download the free fat loss guide, and I'm going to start following through with this, right? Listen to Coach Joe's podcast. I'm going to be good, right? And starts following through with it, right? Inspired action. But then this other dad might look at me and say, man, this dude, like, should put a shirt on. Like, like, why does he have to go pick up his son, right? Wearing a tank top like that, showing off his muscles and whatnot, or this dude's on steroids, right? I get that all the time on, like, Facebook ads, right? The people that always has, the negative comments to say, these are always the ones that typically, like, they don't know how to look in the mirror and just accept responsibilities for their inactions. But regardless, right? This individual, they're thinking about me. They're thinking about me. And maybe in that state, right? Maybe in that present moment, they're not necessarily thinking the most positive things about me, right? But regardless, they're thinking. And I always say it like this. Somebody could be going to their goals with push motivation or pull motivation. And so regardless, it's still motivation. Somebody might look at me and say, oh man, like, this dude's a tool bag, right? Like, but regardless, it might motivate them in a nutshell to at least do something about it, because maybe looking at me pissed them off and they have to say something negative, whatever the case may be. It still got them doing something where maybe they're focusing on their health now. Maybe they're like, all right, well, maybe I should start walking more. Maybe I should start doing some push-ups or sit-ups. Maybe I should start eating a little bit better, being more aware. So even though they looked at me as like, that tool bag and, oh man, like, here's this guy again, regardless, it helped them do something about themselves. just like how the other guy is, right? Might come up, hey Joe, like, what are you doing, man? You look great. Like, I want to look like you. Da 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 da. It's just like, take your goals and put a spin on them, right? Like, honestly, like, if you have goals of vanity reasons, you know, which, hey, it's okay. Like, most guys do. Most guys want to look good with their shirts off, right? Who doesn't want to have that confidence and that you know, self-esteem factor about themselves? It's just like, put a more driving force. Now, we always say this, like, that root, right? You got to have a deep-rooted why. If you're putting, like, I'll say it like this. Hey, I want to get in shape to look good with my shirt off. That's a surface level why. You got to dig a little bit deeper, right? Remember, a tree, if there's a big storm going around and there's not a big root system, it's going to fall over. So it's just like, get a little bit deeper. Maybe that is like, hey, I want to look good with my shirt off so I can inspire other guys or inspire other people to also make a change. Guess what? That's a better root system. That's more deep-rooted why. So it's just like, whatever your goals are, and maybe it's a little vain, right? It's okay. Plain and simple, it's okay, because this is your world. This is my world, right? I got my goals of changing the world, making it a better place. You have your world, and whatever your goals are, your goals. Go after them, right? Take full ownership. Take them by the horns and go after them and strive for them. But like, just make it a little bit deep-rooted, where it's just like, ask yourself, why? Well, why do I want to look good with my shirt off? Why do I want to look like a superhero? Why do I want to be physically in shape? Well, maybe it's not just to, you know, go to the beach with my shirt off and feel more comfortable and confident. Maybe add a deep-rooted why. Hey, I've never felt like this. I want to achieve this because I was never able to succeed. And maybe I want to break the self-limiting beliefs, my own doubts, and be able to accomplish this. Nothing wrong with that at all. Maybe it's like, hey, I want to look good with my shirt off, so once again, I can inspire those around me. Or maybe I can tell my story about, hey, I actually used to look like this, and this is why I walk around my shirt off now, because I look like this. And to me, I feel very proud of the fact of where I came from. Hey, guess what? Deep-rooted why. And the reason why, once again, you want that deep-rooted why is because it's really going to help you stay more determined and disciplined to achieving that goals. Meaning, hey, if it's a cold winter day or you don't feel like waking up and get out of bed and going to the gym, whatever, having a deep-rooted why, right? Like, oh, I'm doing this to inspire other people, right? To motivate other people. Like, I'm showing up not just for myself or other people now. That's going to help you get out of bed. That's going to help you go to the gym. But if you're just like, oh, I just want to look good so I look good in the mirror, right, with my shirt off, it's going to be a little bit easier to sleep in. I'll just say it like that. So, once again, to recap things here, it's okay to have a goal of looking good with your shirt off. It's okay to feel proud of yourself. And, you know, I'm going to be going over an episode the big difference between pride and proud. Huge difference. Huge difference. And I want you to understand, like, whatever your goals are, just go after them. But just make sure that that goal has a little deep-rooted why that's going to help you hold a little firm, hold a little true to, especially when these storms of life come, right? Because these are the repetitions, right? I always say that all the time where, you know, you're dealing with stress, you're dealing with injuries, you're dealing with sicknesses or whatever the case may be, just life's curveballs. It's put in place just to test you. And that's why I'm a huge fan of always working on your mindset, because if you're constantly working on your mindset for that self-improvement, that personal development, it's going to make it so much easier to hit a home run during the hard times when life decides to throw you these curveballs. So hey, you want to look good with your shirt off? Hats off to you. Just make sure that you're doing it for maybe to inspire other people. Or, hey, I want to break these self-limiting doubts of myself because I haven't looked like this in X amount of years. Or maybe I never looked like this. It's perfectly fine. Just get a little deep-rooted. That's all I want you to understand.